Hello and welcome to Fuchsia Insights, where we discuss all things medical practice growth and how we can help you to go from a six-figure business to a seven-figure business. Now, today I want to talk to you about something that I feel is very important for your business. It can either make or break your business, but it's often overlooked at the detriment of those businesses. But it's also a good news for you if you can implement it because if you think about it properly, this really can be a way where you can generate more revenue for your business without necessarily spending more money to do so. And I'm going to explain how in just a second. But with all my years of working in marketing and advertising across several different industries, including health, financial, business opportunity, and sport, there's one thing that's really stuck and it's been in common this whole throughout all the industries I've worked in, and that's the ability to follow up effectively. Now, the follow up is really important because essentially, when you advertise for leads, you you incur the cost in the hope of making a sale on the back end. So if you've got leads and you're not monetizing them, then you're essentially just leaving money on the table because you've already spent the money to acquire them. But if you don't then convert them into sales, then you really are just leaving money on the table. Now, there's a few reasons why this happens, but one of the most common ones is generally people just want instant gratification. So if they don't make a sale after the first one, after the first interaction, then that's it. They just kind of leave it and move on to the next one. Whereas if you take the time to nurture these leads and build a relationship and become more familiar with them and offer them value, then eventually what happens is they begin to like you. And when someone likes something, they just want more of what they like. So it really does have a snowball effect, and that generally can lead to sales down the line if you do it properly. All that being said, the traditional way of this approach is naturally you would have an ad, someone click on the ad, and then you'd be taken through to the lead page. And then once they're on that page, you have an option to give a name, email address, phone number, whatever it is. And then they'd move through the process and either bought or they didn't. And if they didn't buy, they'd go into a follow up. And now the follow up usually consists of just an email or responder sending emails every day or every couple of days and just hoping that they'll buy off that. But if we think about the amount of money we spend to advertise and the inevitability that not everyone who clicks on the ad is going to opt in, which means we've incurred a cost, we haven't necessarily got the target that we were looking for. So the people who could have potentially liked our offer, what we was presenting, they now never get to see that because they weren't willing to give their contact information in order to get the free thing or the bribe or whatever it is. So in a way, we kind of do ourselves a disservice because now we're not seeing the we're losing our numbers for one, and just because they didn't opt in doesn't mean they weren't interested. There's a number of reasons why people don't want to actually give the information, like privacy and just fear of being bombarded with loads of spam emails and the rest of it. So they just back away and don't want to do it. But that's not to say if they did see what was on the other side of that opt-in, they wouldn't naturally be interested and want to then move further and make the purchase. So if you think if we could get rid of that barrier and just allow more of these people to see our message, potentially we've got a better chance of making a sale. Just the numbers game as it works. Um, so this is where we came up with this approach where we would post the content onto social platforms where it's accessible and people could just see it. And then to really scale it, we'd boost those specific advertisements and then track the metrics and see who's really engaging with the content the most. Because if there's three things you need to make a sale, it's they need to be engaged, they need to be familiar with you, and they need to see you as credible. And if they watch our free content and they enjoy the content where they watched through the episodes or the series, or maybe it's just a booklet report, whatever it is, and they thought enough to get more, that means they liked it, and they would make the ideal people to try and pitch to in the hope of selling other products down the line. So a good example is this is the Facebook boost. So if you was to post content just explaining maybe how you could help these people, maybe a bit more about your process, and or even just testimonials, and just measure the response, and then keep pushing the ones that are getting the best response in a short space of time. They're showing a lot of engagement. It shows that people are responding well to it. So it's a good sign, and you should always run with the good signs. But again, it only works if you are providing value. So if you're not providing value, then you're not going to create the engagement you need to get people through the funnel. And then once we know who's watching it, we can just retarget them with actual sales pitches because we know they're interested and they have the best chance of making a sale. So bear that in mind. Again, this is something that you can just take and implement to your business immediately. You can get started now. Um, but if you would like assistance in setting that up, then like apply to work with us, and we will see what we can do to help you get from a six-figure business to a seven-figure business, and see the expansion and growth that you would really want. Well, I'm going to leave it here for now, but don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.